All right, in this section, we're going to do the Bias Plus report, also known as
the matchup show
for week 13, 2019 in the NFL season. So, Ben, let's kick this one off with, here we go, Bears, Lions. I want to say, oh my, so bad. Bias Plus score 35 favors the Bears. Now, you know, it's funny, Ben, because we do points. That's what we do.
right?
But I have been kind of looking at some of the yardage. So let me just mention the Lions are 5th in passing yardage at 272 and 18th in rushing yardage at 105.6. And this is on a per game basis. The Bears are 30th in passing yardage with 190.7 and 29th in rush yardage at 78.5. So what for the fact that the Lions are dealing with a backup quarterback,
Yeah, who's
that'd be a strong favor.
Yeah, it would, and it's again a tale of two quarterbacks. Trubisky ended up, and
gotta type trademark.
Matt Stafford has been pretty efficient and stacking lots of yards, but Matt Stafford is now hurt. So his backup, Jeff Driscoll, has been doing the best that he can, but obviously he's a backup for a reason. And the Lions running game is just beginning to show signs of life thanks to Bo Scarborough. So I have had no explanation for the Bears running game except for their young running back is just about the same as the guy they traded to the Eagles, Jordan Howard. His name's David Montgomery, except he's younger and quicker.
Yeah.
But they don't use him.
Same scenario with the Eagles.
Right.
And just for, reference sake, 35 is not a big bias
Not at all.
score. Again,
That's anybody's game.
31 net points over 12 games. That's less than 3 net points per game difference. So you got, even though the Bears are favored, Lions have their problems. This, could be or should be a pretty good contest. Now, this is one of the 3 games on Thanksgiving. So, everyone, and this is the early game, I do believe, on the schedule. This was the first one, and that game, I do believe, let's see if I have
Should
this.
be a 1 o'clock, I would think.
12:30, 1 o'clock game, something like that. You got the schedule.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, we both have the schedule. 12:30.
Okay, good.
That's a 12:30.
I'll be ready for some football by 12:30.
Oh, man. Let me tell you. All right. We'll be settled in 12:30. Okay.
So 35 is not a lot.
Yeah, the biggest bias of the weekend is 188, just for reference sake.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. This one, I'm going to have to go with the Bears. I don't know are they going to start Chase Daniel, you think?
If they listen to you, they are.
I hope they do. And assuming that they will, you know what? They're not. That they took him out with a phantom hip injury, but he was ineffective. The team was going nowhere with him at the helm. The coach knew it, and he was like, let me just see if I can stop the bleeding. I think they'll probably start him again. But even so, this is now when you think about it that way, this one's hard to call, man. I hate to spend a lot of time on these because
it's funny. I think that
really quick.
If they title the offensive game plan for the Bears, it'll be called "Run, Forrest, Run."
Yeah,
because that's what they're going to tell Trubisky to do. You take your first read. If you get to your second read, great. Beyond that, run.
Yeah.
Just
pretend you're Josh Allen from the Bills and just take off.
Allen.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Go watch some Lamar Jackson film and get inspired.
I'm going with the Bears.
Are you going with the Bears? Going
Yeah.
with the bias on this
I'm gonna
one?
go with the Bears and the bias. Yes.
All righty then. Okay. Let's see. We're going in the wrong direction.
That's the right direction.
Yeah. Was it? Was that the right direction?
That
Sure
wasn't,
was.
but you was.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, man. All right. This game will determine whether or not one coach has a job.
I don't know if it'll determine it, but there'll be a lot of talking about it.
If they get spanked, the Cowboys get spanked out of this. But I don't expect that to happen. The bias plus score of 25 favors the Cowboys. That is a smaller bias than even with the Bears Lions. And when I looked at the Cowboys, and again, this is, how do you fire the coach when their team is number 1 in yards per game at 433.4. The Bills are coming in at 18th at 352. That's almost almost like 80 yards, some difference.
Yeah.
The Pats are 352.8. So the Patriots and the Bills are 1/10 of an average yard per game apart. So can't get too negative about being 18th versus 1. But hey,
correct. Especially when your defense is hardly giving up any.
That's where it's at.
And I hate to crack on the Cowboys record because they can only play who's on the schedule, but they had a couple of really good games against some pretty bad teams. That being said, I will go back and again say it, as I've said before, although the Cowboys are at home, I don't think that Jerry World is very intimidating to other teams. I think it's so large and it's such a spectacle that sometimes the visiting team actually enjoys playing there. The locker rooms are probably real nice and plush. They get to walk down the thing and have the fans yelling for them. If they have any fans that travel or they have fans that are in Texas and bought tickets to the game, they'll be there cheering them on. And the Buffalo Bills, I believe, it really has something going for them. There's also a lot of pressure on the Cowboys because of the aforementioned thing going on with Jason Garrett and the owner. And Dak, too. I mean, he's hearing it. So now they get to play a team with a winning record, albeit a team with a winning record that it looks like on paper, as you mentioned, with all the yardage and all, they should beat. If they don't win this game, it could be trouble in Dallas. I do not think they're going to win this game.
Cowboys.
I think the Buffalo Bills are going to come in here and it's going to be like 16-10 or 14-12 or something like that, and the Bills are going to win this game.
I mentioned yardage, but let's go back over the point scenarios here. Number 1, points for, Bills are 21st with 231. Cowboys are 6th with 295.
Sounds like a big difference in favor of the Cowboys.
And points against, Bills are 3rd with 173.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys are 7th with 210.
Not bad. So both defenses have been stout. The Bills have been a little bit stouter. I'm making up words.
Now, you know what I'm saying?
But the Cowboys have a defense that needs to be reckoned with, yes.
The net points, Bills are coming in at 6. Cowboys are 4th. The Bills have plus 58. Cowboys have plus 85 with a Miami skew.
Right. Miami, and there's somebody else in there too.
Yeah. So
I still like the Bills. I like the Bills. I think they're going to give Zeke a hard time. He's going to have to earn every yard, and Dak better be stellar. Now, he won't have to wear a glove and won't be raining and cold and all that stuff. So he'll have that on his side because that obviously bothered him last week. But I think the Bills are on a nice little roll. I like them.
We were, and I'll show this a little bit later. We did a little chart where I'm looking at the momentum of certain teams relative to net points.
Yes.
And the Bills are coming in 5th over the last 3 games in terms of net points, with an average net point of 10.3. That, to give you some idea, your top 3 are the Baltimore Ravens with an average net point over the last 3 games of 36.
On fire.
The Jets coming in the second with average net points of 18 over that time.
Sam Darnold.
And then the Niners with 12. So, and then the Browns with 11. So they're heating up a little bit at this time, followed by Buffalo, and then the Falcons. Yeah.
Yeah, again, they have the wins over the craziest. They win the games that they should not have any chance of winning, and then they lose games that you would think that they would be favored. Falcons are really weird right now. So those are your top teams over the last 3 weeks. Hence, we will call them the hot teams right now. Are the Cowboys on that list anyway? You got what?
No,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 teams.
They're not
on
in the top 10.
Exactly. Here we go. Here we go.
And you talk about the Falcons. Here you have the Falcons at the Saints with a bias plus of 113, favoring the Saints.
Yes.
That don't sound safe to me, though.
Well, it doesn't. And again, after just saying that they win the games that they're not supposed to win, they weren't supposed to beat the Saints the first time they played them. That one was in Atlanta. They had their little surprise. The Saints will be ready for them when they come to the Superdome. This game will be no contest. Take the Saints all day.
All right. I'm not going to throw out a lot more than that. I think that the Saints, they need to handle that business because, at this point, if they don't beat them, then they're going to fall out of. Now
I don't know.
You got seeding going on now for
That's
playoffs.
true.
You don't want to lose now, especially is that the division?
That's a division game.
So that's weird. The weird stuff happens in the division.
They'll win that division.
Well, they just better. Jeez.
Well, if they win the division, they'll be in. Yeah, it's seeding, home field. That's what they're worried about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And that's why they really need to win this game. All right. Where are we at? Oh, gosh, Ben. All right. Shiver me timbers. Niners at Ravens. We got to go to Baltimore. Is that a West Coast?
Sure is.
East?
Sure is. What time's the game? You got your schedule?
Yeah.
If it's a 1 o'clock game,
it's a 1 o'clock
give
game.
you something else to be scared of.
It's in the first of the 1 o'clock game list. Yes, it is.
Something else for you to be scared of, man.
Something
Add
else.
that to your list. Now, let me say this.
Oh, wait, let me mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Bias plus score 17
Ooh.
favors the Ravens.
Ooh. As it should. They're
All right,
number one.
Let's look
They're
at
number one in points for.
Let's look at the numbers.
They're number one in points for. They're number 5 in points against. They're number 1 in net points overall.
With 184, but my Niners are number 3.
Okay.
With 169. So we're in that neighborhood. Okay. The Niners are second in scoring.
It's nice to be in the neighborhood, but this is a head-to-head confrontation.
332 versus 386 for the Ravens. My Niners are second on defense with 163. Ravens are 5th, giving up 202. I got to pump my chest out about something. The Niners are 7th in turnover differential with +6, and the Ravens are 6th with +8. So relative to the points and the differentials, there you go. Ravens are number 2 in yards. Let me see here. Let me make sure I got this right. In your offensive yards per game, the Niners are 6. Raiders are at 433 per game. Niners are 382. Defensively, my Niners are number 1 in terms of yards per game.
As they should be.
Down, and the Ravens are 11th.
That's right. They've had their struggles.
Who say, again, it's the Kittle factor. When I played this game, having Kittle made, especially in the second half, I got my run off, okay, was able to run the ball. But, Kittle just makes the difference because I don't know if there's anybody over there that can really cover him.
Well, sir,
he says.
this is the way I look at it. The Niners do have to make the trip to the East Coast. That's not good. But they got a young, innovative coach who's smart. I think he'll have the team prepared for the trip and their curfews and sleeping habits and where they stay and all that stuff. Because all that means something. You can't be sloppy with it, so to speak, and just take it like it's a trip to Arizona, because it's not.
You already told him don't eat too much on Thanksgiving.
There you go. See, he's already thinking.
You're going to be chasing Lamar around. You don't want to be weighted down.
Right. I think what you're going to see in this game is the Ravens' run game getting slowed down a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to stop them. I'm not saying they're going to stop Lamar. What I'm saying is this may be the game where the Ravens find themselves having to throw the ball as opposed to throwing the ball when they want to. I think they're going to have more of a balance between pass and run instead of being heavy run all the time. And I think this could be a game where every time Lamar takes off, he will be in a little bit of danger. Now, that being said, let me get the intrigue out of the way right away. I'm picking the 49ers, and I'm picking them strong. I think this is a front seven that the Ravens offensive line has not seen this strength like this in any of the games that they've played. And they have struggled a little bit against some other teams in the past this season. The 49ers front seven is by far, if not the best, they're 1A. I mean, they're right there. They got, and also, and I mentioned before, the only slight weakness, I think, I don't want to call it a full-fledged weakness, but slight weakness to the Ravens offense is their receiving core. Now, obviously, they stepped up big in the Rams game, but they had little resistance. I didn't even hear Jalen Ramsey's name called to the end of the game, and he got in an argument with Peter. So
when they double team Aaron Donald,
and Aaron Donald got held. Yeah, he did nothing. You can't double team the entire 49ers front. You can't do it. And with my man coming off the edge, I like the Niners. I really like them. I don't know if it's going to be a high-scoring close game or a low-scoring close game, but I think it's going to be a close game. But I like the Niners.
In the virtual world, when I had to play him, I was able to kind of put the kibosh on Ingram a little bit.
Okay.
And like you're saying, we've got a strong front seven.
Right.
So Ingram's going to have a day. He's going to have to – he ain't just running through
that
defense.
Right.
The challenge that stands is that apparently, we've struggled with mobile quarterbacks.
Okay.
So we got, Russell got us on a long run, which positioned them for a win.
Yes.
We even, have problems with the squirrel, Kyler Murray. They call
the squirrel. Where'd that come from?
The Niners, when they first played them, they said, one of our linemen said he's like chasing the squirrel.
Okay.
he's small and quick.
I don't think he's happy about that.
I don't know about that either, but that is a challenge, you know? And so, even sometimes when you do it right, because I saw with the Rams and a couple times, like they did actually sack Lamar when they boxed and held.
But you can't overrun.
You can't.
If you overrun him, he's gone.
He's out. Yeah. So you really have to be disciplined in your lanes. You're gonna have to play maybe a little spy here or there, and all that kind of stuff. So this is going to be some real gamesmanship going on.
They'll come with some kind of a spy. This is going to be, matter of fact, boom. This game's going to be intriguing. And I don't know who your intriguing game is going to be.
Well, it's not.
But I know it can't be this one because you never picked the Niners game as an intriguing game. So I have no clue who it could be, but I have some guesses.
Uh-oh. Well, it ain't the next game. So let's get through that one.
All right, let's get through that.
Because the Washington team that needs to change their name is going to visit Carolina, and the Panthers have a bias plus score of 93 in their favor. So I'm not gonna belabor this one. I'll let you kind of jump on.
Oh yeah. Even with all the problems the Panthers have been having, no one has come up with a remedy for Christian McCaffrey. So we'll kind of leave it at that. I don't think they're going to have any trouble with Washington. Dwayne Haskins, although he was taking selfies and he was all happy and he got the victory, okay, if you go back and look at the game, he was sloppy as all get out. He threw all kinds of passes all over the place. He missed receivers. It was not a pretty performance. If he does that against the Panthers, their defense has had their problems, but I think he turned the ball over a couple times and let Christian McCaffrey really get cooking. This is going to be a bad loss for Washington.
Interestingly, you mentioned defense.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers are ranked 25th with 291 points given up.
Yeah, they have trouble against the run.
Washington team that needs to change their name is 23rd. Now, of course, they're 30th in scoring.
Right.
But the Panthers are 12th. So.
And people throw the ball all over the place on them, too. So
they don't give up as many points, you know. So,
but they don't give up a lot of rushing yards because it's so easy to throw on them like that. That's the way I look at it.
Well, once Christian McCaffrey gets hold of them, then we'll see, you know, whether their defense is as advertised. But no, that's not my intriguing game of the day. As a matter of fact, and I hate to say this to you because it's probably gonna drive you crazy, but I haven't really picked it.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm still a bit torn, but
I'm looking down the list. I still have some ideas.
when we get to a candidate.
I see two more candidates, and thinking that I know how you think. I have two.
All right. Who's up next? Yes. Okay. We talked about the Jets having some momentum. They got Big Mo on their side, coming in second over the last 3 games in net points.
That's a healthy bias for them.
That's a healthy bias for the Jets at 82. And the Bengals, are they the one tanking for Tua?
Oh yeah, tanking for Tua, baby.
Okay, all right. Anything on that one?
Andy Dalton will be on another team next year, somewhere between the end of the season and the draft. That being said, Darnold is hot. Bengals are not. Take the Jets.
Going with the Jets. All right, going with the bias. Rolling with the homies. This is a candidate for intriguing game.
I didn't look at this one as a candidate, but I can understand why.
Yeah.
Colts need a rebound. They need a rebound. That was a bit of an ugly loss last week. They didn't seem to be able to get anything right. Even though they had a pretty successful run game, Brissett does not look right, and they miss T.Y. Hilton's explosiveness. Hopefully he can get a little bit better physically during the week. Other than that, they don't have too many other options. As a matter of fact, I think the starting tight end is hurt too. Eric Ebron's hurt. He might even be on IR if my memory serves me correctly. So I wouldn't practice T.Y. very much this week. They need him healthy. Their other receivers aren't doing much at all. And they're going to need their passing game against this Titans team because they're unleashing Derrick Henry, and they're just going to try to pound you.
Well, this is very evenly matched team. Okay. You've got the Titans coming in ranked 10th in net points with 28. The Colts are ranked 11th with 18. So not a big difference. Points for Titans are 16th ranked at 245 scored. Colts are 17th. That's 16th and 17th.
Wow.
The Colts have scored 244.
Okay.
1 point difference in the
Okay.
scoring.
You can't get any closer.
You can't get much closer than this. Titans are a little bit ahead in defense, ranked 9th. They've given up 217. Colts are 12th.
Still close.
Real close there. They've given up 226. And the biggest difference is in the turnover differential, where the Titans are 9th with +4. Colts are 22nd with -2.
Okay, so for all those close numbers, here's the difference. The Colts did most of their damage as far as well-played games and racking up the stats early in the season, and are beginning to falter just a bit. The Titans started off slow and are beginning to rise, and they're meeting in the middle, and I think this game is going to make them go, all right, just like that. And the Titans will be the superior team, and they will win that game.
Going with
and
the bias.
They are fighting. These teams are fighting for that division. So this is a big game for both teams. The Colts need to bounce back bad. They're going to play hard. They're going to be at home. They're going to have a crowd. I hate to say it because the Colts need this game, and if they play really hard and T.Y. is able to give them something through the air, and Brissett can move around in the pocket a little bit because he looks gimpy, that's the only reason I'm not taking them. They're just not physically able, I think, on offense to put up points. Got to go with the Titans.
Okay, got to go with the Titans. Here's Jameis again. This time he's got to deal with another running back, Leonard Fournette. Bias plus score 22 favors the Buccaneers. Every dog has his day. Small bias. And oh, by the way, that Titans bias that bias plus score of 16 was the smallest of the weekend.
That's the smallest. Yeah. It should be a good game.
Smallest of the weekend. So okay, what do you got for Jameis and the boys? Their net points. Both teams are in the negative. So 32 net points favored the Buccaneers, but the Jaguars had a bias plus, a bias turnover differential bias in their favor of 10. Which
That's
is how
nice.
they came up with the 22 there.
That's healthy. So all is not lost for the Jaguars defense, but they're still shaky. And Jameis is going to be Jameis. He's going to throw for 1 or 2 touchdowns, probably 2, and he's going to break 300 yards. The Jaguars, Leonard Fournette's going to have to really work hard for his. The Buccaneers' run defense is borderline stellar. Like, they're really good against the run, but they can be passed on. So that brings Nick Foles into the equation. Now, he's got capable receivers. Every game, I think he's going to get a little bit better, but he was out for a long time. You know what I mean? So this is going to be tough for them. I'm going with the Buccaneers. I think they're going to win 2 games in a row here. And, it's an easy trip. They're just going over to Jacksonville from Tampa. No big deal.
Yeah, right in state, eh?
Yeah, weather won't mean nothing. Nothing mean nothing. They can all drive their cars there.
Nick Foles might win the Super Bowl in positive messaging after the game, though, because he was really, sounding like Nick Foles. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's
the whole positive vibe that he comes and everything. But I think he's starting to look like the Nick Foles that the Rams let go. We shall see.
We need another game or 2 to see if he goes that way or this way. We're not going to see the Nick Foles that won the Super Bowl for the Eagles. That we're not going to see.
Okay. All right. Well, now, look, if you're going to be throwing names out like that, obviously you got a little something going on here, a little telepathy or something. Eagles at Dolphins with a bias plus of 188 favoring the Eagles. Now, you talked about the Cowboys better go win the game.
Oh, come on now. You can't put somebody against the Dolphins, the Eagles against the Dolphins, and say it's a must win. Okay, I guess you can say it's a must win.
It's a must win in terms of if you don't beat the Dolphins,
Yeah.
Eagles fans are going to be jumping off the Benjamin Franklin or the Walt Whitman or what's the other bridge? And the other bridge between here and Jersey?
Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross, the Tacony Palmyra. They'll be jumping off bridges left.
Should set up a little booth and make people pay to get on the bridge. Because they'll be coming by car, Uber, they'll be walking.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know,
there's no way that the Eagles can lose to the Dolphins. They're having a tough time, but the Dolphins just aren't going to put up any resistance. They're in nice, sunny Miami. You know, guys are going to go down. They're going to hit South Beach. You know, they hit the clubs a little bit. They'll be feeling good about themselves. They should win this game. I just wonder if it's going to actually be a game, because it could be a game. But I don't think it will. Fantasy, if people got discouraged with the Eagles defense and dropped them in fantasy, you might want to pick them up, because after Miami, I think they got a couple more cupcakes. So, and their defense actually is playing pretty well.
Pretty well.
You know, it's
gave
the offense is killing
Seahawks trouble.
That's right.
Gave the Patriots trouble.
They gave the Seahawks real trouble.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, and they give the Patriots some trouble too. So, yeah, if you can pick up the Eagles defense in fantasy, you might want to do that. Hang on to them for the next couple of games down the stretch to get you into the fantasy playoffs. They could actually win something for you.
Packers are coming to visit your New York Football Giants with a bias plus score of 126, favoring the Packers.
I love my team, I really do, but there's nothing. They got nothing for Aaron Rodgers. Packers need to bounce back too. This will be it. I hope that they can get a couple of scores, and they can get. They should be able to get Saquon loose this week. If you got Saquon, don't give up on him. Packers can be run on, so Saquon should have a good game. If Saquon has a good game, that usually translates to Danny Dimes being fairly successful. I just don't think the defense will be able to stop anything that the Packers have in store for them offensively. Aaron Jones will have a field day. Start him in fantasy. If you're lucky like I am on one of my plethora of fantasy teams, I actually have Aaron Jones and Barkley starting this week. So I'm looking for a high score. I'm looking for a win in that game.
Really?
I forget who my quarterback is. Probably Foles. So I'm going to need some good running.
Genius. He's a genius. Good Foles. Okie dokie. All right. Who we got up next here? Oh, hey, well, the rematch.
And we mean that literally.
And we mean that literally. Browns at Steelers. Bias plus score 36. Favors the Steelers with Duck Dynasty coming.
Steelers are living off their turnover differential height.
I'm telling you.
And that's pretty much it. They.
But if you take Myles Garrett off of the Browns, it'll be interesting to see how their defense. I mean, because Myles Garrett he's a disruptor, man. Take him off the.
Juju's a maybe.
Yeah,
Connor's probably doubtful.
They don't have no
Duck Dynasty coming in for his first real start. Okay, coming in mop-up duty is one thing.
I know.
Coming in to start a big game like this at home with the crowd screaming, and they'll be behind him. You know how crowds are. They take the starter out for injury or whatever and bring in the backup, and the fans go nuts. They love that. So he's going to have the backing of the team. That's a lot of pressure, especially when you're, well, again, he's the backup. So handing the ball off to not Jalen Samuels, but his name got away from me. Snell. Benny Snell.
Okay.
Yeah. Rookie running back. They've had reps.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Throwing to Deontay Johnson and some of these other no-name Steelers receivers. He's got experience with those guys. So this could be a good thing for them. But guess what? Browns going to beat them. Browns going to beat them again. They're going to beat them on their field. It's going to be a dark day for the Steelers and Mike Tomlin. He's not going to be happy after this one.
Dark days.
Dark day.
Man. Okay, Mr. Dark Days here, getting graphic with it. Gee, me Christmas. All right, now this game was also a candidate for intriguing game.
What?
Yes.
I did not suspect that you might try this game.
Well, first off, both teams are in my division with my Niners.
Again, I got to remember how you think. Okay. All right.
So, you know, I got my eye on these guys. Number one. Number two, the Rams just got embarrassed by a quarterback that can run. And now they got to deal with another quarterback that can run.
I like
and
the
it's
way you're
running
thinking.
an innovative offense.
I like the way you're thinking.
But the bias plus score of 66 does favor the Rams. Now, when you look across at the breakdown for the bias here, Rams are coming in at 14th in net points. The Cardinals are at 28th. They, you know, obviously struggle, but I mean the Rams are +6, Cardinals are -69. So ergo, big difference there. However, in scoring, Rams are 14th at 249. Cardinals are 15th at 248.
Ooh.
So they can score points with them. Now, where the big differential is, this has been on defense.
Yeah.
The Rams are 15th, giving up 243. The Cardinals are 30th, giving up 317.
I think that's going to be the difference.
The other difference is this. Rams are 24th in turnover differential with -5. The Cardinals are 11th with +4.
Ooh. Okay.
Young Kyler doesn't turn the ball over. That's one thing he's really, really good at. So that kind of changed it a little bit when you went from having a bias, net point bias of 75 favoring the Rams. That got mediated a bit with the Cardinals having a bias in their favor on the turnover differential of 9, which is why it went down to 66.
Okay.
Bias plus there. So, yeah, this could be more of a game, you know, and I'm sure everybody sees if, you know, step one, double team Aaron Donald.
Yeah, you kind of have to do
Step two, hit those edges, you know, before he can, and you got a shot. Maybe.
I don't know if they can do that, though.
We shall see.
I don't know if the Rams defense can do that. I don't think they're going to be able to contain Kyler Murray. I really don't. And I'm looking at this as a pretty high scoring game.
Really?
Yeah, I think the innovations that we've seen from the Cardinals will give the Rams a lot of trouble. But I'm picking the Rams to win only because they just have too many doggone weapons. And I don't think that the Cardinals offense is efficient enough to put up points fast enough like the Ravens did to get the Rams behind by a big margin. But I think they can kind of go score for score with them. This might be like a 30-28 or something. That's what I believe. But the Rams just have too many weapons for the Cardinals defense. It's just too many.
That's where the challenge
Cooks, Kupp, Woods, Reynolds, Everett, the tight end, Gurley. Swing passes to Gurley could destroy them. It could get ugly, except for I don't think they can put enough pressure on Kyler for him to not have success. He's going to have some success. Should be a good game. I'm starting to feel intrigued. I didn't give it much thought at first, but yeah.
Well, the next game up is a candidate for intriguing game.
No way.
Yeah.
No, stop.
Yeah. Because you know something? The Chiefs are up there in the playoff picture. And the Raiders are like the #1 team in contention. And
it's a division game.
Yeah. The Raiders come through on this game. They actually show up and do something in this game. It's going to upset the kettle a little bit, man.
After that Jets debacle, I don't know, bro. You think they got it in them?
Well, you know something? We've seen it from one game to the next.
That's
where,
true.
you know, team looks like, you know, you're thinking they're on the path down, and then all of a sudden they turn around and
it has happened.
You know what I mean? So that's why I was a little intrigued with that. I'm like, okay, this could be a game that might, you know.
It has happened, but we got Andy Reid coming off a bye. The famous Andy Reid coming off the bye week. I'm going Chiefs all the way here. I think that Raiders loss to the Jets cut them deep. I think it cut them real deep. And they were bad all around. Offensively, defensively, running, passing, stopping the run, stopping the pass. They were bad all around. I think the Chiefs have enough to take advantage of that. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
Going with the Chiefs. All right. Well, I mean, I can't. What can I tell you? Can't
And they
argue
had the
with it.
Chiefs had running back problems, but everybody's healthy now. I'm pretty sure. Damian Williams should be healthy. Shady should be healthy. Kelsey obviously is Kelsey, and Ty Hill is Ty Hill. Mahomes. Okay, let me stop. Take the
Hill.
Chiefs.
I don't know about.
He's dinged?
He came out the last game. He was beat up a little bit.
Oh, I remember he came to the sideline. He was kind of wild.
Yeah.
And they had a week off. He'll be fine.
All right, we shall see. Chargers. All right, the Broncos. Bias plus score 41 favors the Chargers.
You just like
I
saying
like
that.
saying that right there.
He's a weirdo.
Yes. Okay.
41, that's not big.
That's not big.
Probably because the Broncos have been playing fairly well on defense. Again, though, Chargers have enough weapons to stress that good defense, and the Broncos don't have enough weapons on offense to really challenge the Chargers defense. So I'm going to take the Chargers. Phillip Rivers, come on, man. Throw some spirals, bro.
I do not trust Phillip Rivers
I
one
kinda don't blame
iota the Chargers anymore, especially with their commitment to the run.
Yeah.
And
They're trying to make Melvin Gordon earn his money because after that little holdout, he's
I
going
think Melvin Gordon is doing pretty well. They just got to give him the ball.
he got off
especially
to a
at
start.
Well, we talked about the 3rd and 2 thing. It's like, give him the ball. You got Melvin Gordon back there,
True.
And
And you can get him the ball all different kinds of ways. It'd be different if he couldn't catch. It'd be different if he couldn't run through the tackles, but he's quick enough to do that, and he can get to the outside.
And he get to the outside.
And if you don't trust him getting to the outside, put Eckler in the game. They have the weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so who you going with?
Chargers.
Going
you
with
thought I was
the
gonna
bias.
Chargers.
Going with the all right. Ding, 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 ding.
The intriguing game of
The
the week.
intriguing game of the week.
Tell us why, would you?
Well, number one, this is the Sunday night game, right?
Yes.
So I can see the whole game. I know I can see this game. I don't have to worry about whether it's right. But again, the Texans, right? The Texans they've got to deal with the Patriots. And they do pretty well. Deshaun is going in and he's done pretty well. Let's look at it real quick. Texans are ranked 13th in net points. They're ranked 10th in points for and 17th in points against.
Not terrible.
Patriots are 2nd in net points, 5th in points for, and 1st in points against. And probably the biggest differential is tied turnover differential, where the Texans are 18th at a net
Patriots.
0. Patriots are number 1 plus 19.
Right.
But Patriots are going into Houston.
Okay.
Houston's home.
Didn't they just go into Dallas and win? Oh, no, Dallas went up there. I'm sorry. Forget
Yeah,
it.
Dallas went up there. Yeah. So, hey, there's a possibility. I think that, and I'm always looking to see what Deshaun can do. If Deshaun plays well, if he doesn't waste too much time in the pocket, you know what I mean? Doesn't, Brady's getting rid of it in 2.5 seconds. Deshaun's getting rid of it in 5.7 seconds or something like that. I don't think that you are as intrigued about this matchup.
Probably. No, I'm not. But I think the Patriots know that in order to win this game, they have to put pressure on Deshaun. Obviously, Houston's going to try to put pressure on Tom Brady, but I don't think they'll be as successful. Their secondary is a mess.
Texans
secondary is a mess. The Patriots secondary is stellar. Okay? So we're talking Deshaun, Fuller, and Hopkins against the Patriots secondary. That alone is intriguing.
Mm.
Okay. The Texans running game is, I'll use the word weak. I don't know what else to say. It's not going to be much of a factor.
Carlos Hyde, right?
Yeah, but it's not going to be much of a factor, especially if the Patriots are able to score quick. Now, here's the thing.
If the Patriots aren't doing any scoring, no, that's the problem.
Well, I understand that, but they should be able to put together a drive of some sort. They got good weather. You know, Brady got to prove he ain't dead yet. And I think he likes N'Keal Harry, the rookie
like
wide
N'Keal.
receiver.
Yeah.
Well, he's got great size and he's got good speed.
Mm-hmm.
And who the heck is Jacoby Myers? Kid looks nice. Ran nice routes, caught the ball, helped him move the ball. Sony Michel's going to be big in this one. They have to establish some kind of run game, and the run game has not been great this year. Normally, when the run game itself isn't as good as they need it to be, they usually flip him out and flip in Burkhead, who can run and catch, because Sony Michel's doesn't have the greatest hands, or they just go to James White and just throw swing passes and screens to him all day instead of just handing him the ball. So they have options probably that the Texans don't have. But it is still an intriguing game because Will Fuller is dangerous. And if he opens up the field, it's not like Djax opening up the field for Alshon Jeffrey. We talking about a dude that's just as fast, if not faster than Djax, opening up the field for Nuke Hopkins. Come on now. Take the Patriots. I'm taking the Patriots.
Going with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we shall see. All right. The Monday night game.
This should be the intriguing game.
You know something? It probably should be. To be quite honest with you. It probably should be because, I mean, we're talking some real close,
yeah,
NFC, right?
Yeah.
NFC matched.
Nice round 50 bias plus.
Nice round 50 buys plus.
Who's it in favor of? Oh my.
The Vikings.
Yeah, I can see that.
They've had some good games.
What's the numbers
They've
look like?
had some
You got
good
numbers on
games.
that?
Let's see what we have here. Vikings are 5th in net points. Seahawks are 9th.
Okay.
That's plus 84 for the Vikings and plus 29 for the Seahawks.
Okay, that's a fairly good margin. You might say 5th to 9th, not so bad, but when you look at the points involved.
Points for Vikings are 8th with 289. Seahawks are 7th with 292.
Okay, that's Russell Wilson.
That's Russell Wilson. All right. Points against. Vikings are 6.
Here's the difference.
Only giving up 205. Seahawks are 21st.
Yeah.
And they had to play my Niners. What can I tell you?
It wasn't just that. They're not the Legion of Boom no more.
Yeah.
Legion of Doom or Boom or
Right,
whatever
right.
they were.
Well, they're still pretty good, though.
Oh,
they're still
pretty
pretty good. And they have a 12th man. They're home.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like their home field advantage. Some teams have a home field advantage that ain't really that big of an advantage, like I always talk about the Cowboys. But the Seahawks home field advantage is pretty big. I like it. So I like the Seahawks to win the game. This is going to be a real smack them in the mouth, rough and tumble game.
You're going against the bias.
I'm going against the bias. I'm going agast that big 50.
And you thought about this one, didn't you? Told me you thought about these.
I actually thought about this. Do I? It seems like I didn't. I got to stick my neck out a little bit, man.
Just wanted to make sure.
I like the Seahawks. I think they're on a roll.
It's my sleeper squad, I mean, the numbers are the numbers. They're going to have to get their act together and, and get out there and show the Vikings what the deal is. Kirk Cousins is going to have to show he can go into hostile territory and do the same thing against a defense that, I mean, Clowney.
Yeah.
We know how he is under when that pressure is coming off that edge.
They still have to worry about holding off the Packers, who could get on a little win streak and fight for that division lead. And of course, the Seahawks have their hands full with the Niners and well, used to be the Rams, but they're not looking so great anymore. So either way, either division is up in the air, and the wild cards are up in the air. So every win counts when you're talking about the NFC North and the NFC West.
And you're going with the
Seahawks.
Going with the Seahawks.
Yes.
Going against the bias. Okay. All 16 games.
Oh, yeah, we got a big slate. Tomorrow's going to be fun.
3 games tomorrow.
Yep.
One game on Monday. That's 4 out of 16, 12 games.
I picked all 3 road teams tomorrow.
Did you really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You're really sticking your neck out.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
let's go.
Sticking your neck out. But the Seahawks, that's not a real stick. You picked them, right?
No, I'm talking about for tomorrow, Thursday night.
Oh,
games.
for the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got the Bears, the Bills, and the Saints.
Oh, okay.
They're all on the road, right?
Okay.
Why did I say going to the Superdome? Right, the Falcons beat them in the Superdome. Oh, the Saints are going to handle these boys. They owe them. They owe them.
So you're going with the Bills, eh?
Yeah,
Going into.
yeah. I got all 3 road teams tomorrow.
Okay.
They're
Well,
gonna
look.
eat the turducken.
You'll be eating, all the, what's the tryptophan?
Yeah, that's right.
You all tryptophan out,
All
wake up and find out.
Don't
What?
eat too much turkey, gang.
I went 0 for 3.
The trick to Thanksgiving is you want to eat like 2 or 3 times during the course of the day.
Or that was
You don't want to eat one gigantic meal because you're going to miss the night game if you do that.
Mm.
So keep your turkey portion small and load up on your macaroni and cheese. I know people are going to be like, "You, dude, you're carving me to death." It's Thanksgiving. It's one day. Go for it. Macaroni and cheese, candy yams, or sweet potatoes, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, because you just finished giving me this whole thing.
I just gave you the whole thing about eating carbs, right?
About being keto.
It's Thanksgiving. You know?
Keto goes out the window. on
Buttermilk
Thanksgiving.
biscuits, all that old good stuff, man. You're going to have greens. You're going to probably have cabbage. I know a lot of families do greens and cabbage. String beans, all that good old green stuff. Get that in there. Make that the majority of your plate. And then when you go back for your second, you get the same thing. But, this is what you do. You don't eat the macaroni and cheese and the yams on the same plate. So the first trip, you get the yams. The second trip, you get the macaroni and cheese. Okay? I'm talking like, this is how our family does it. They have like 3 vegetables and 5 starches, and then turkey and a ham. So
Are y'all still doing ham?
I think she got a ham because her and Desiree like ham. I don't eat ham, but
Okay.
they do. And then when you get your last one, so that you don't fall asleep on the night game, or that you fall asleep on the night game or after the night game, then you eat more turkey in the last one. Or, as I like to do, make a turkey sandwich.
Uh-oh.
It's got to be a sandwich. You don't make a turkey sandwich. It has to be a sandwich. Okay?
And the difference is?
The difference is you put a lot of mayo on the bread. You put you just rip off a big piece of turkey breast.
Okay.
Kind of break it like this so it's not fat in the middle.
Okay.
Slap it on the bread. Okay?
Okay.
If you like cranberry sauce, you throw some of that on there too. Okay? I like to put a little cheese on mine and just go.
Now, one of my clients has a food blog called A Pinch of Butter. So I'm going to have to pass this on to her.
Yes.
So that she knows all of these Thanksgiving
It's just me
feast
talking.
strategies.
But yeah, it's
to make it through all 3 games through the night game. So this is not just a eating strategy. This is an eating to watch football strategy.
Exactly. If you want to make it through all 3 games, your only other alternative is if the middle game's a little boring, you can take a nap.
Get that nap. It's the nap for the middle
It's
game.
the nap. Yeah.
All right, that wraps up the Bias Plus Report, also known as
The Matchup Show.
for Week 13 of the 2019 NFL season. We're just about to wrap this puppy up with our social media commentary and rants.